Hey there, Bitizens, and welcome to the Kilobits. My name is Francesca, and this week I want to talk to you about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 and how not to release video games. Effectively, on the 29th of September, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 came out on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and we'll kind of tell a tale of everything that went wrong with that launch. Now, the game is published by Activision and developed by Robomodo, and what happened was, prior to the release, so before the release, no review copies were sent out. Not to anyone, not to Eurogamer, not to IGN, not to Kotaku, not to any of your kind of big gaming review outlets, not to anyone. And that is a big red flag in itself. Like, alarm bells should be ringing at this. If I hear no review copies have been sent out, what that means to me is, we know our game is shit, and we don't want you guys telling the public our game is shit before the public buy our game. So we will send out our review copies on release, which kind of defeats the point of you know, people reviewing games before they come out and allowing the buyer or the public to make a kind of educated or informed decision on whether they want to play the game. So no review copies got sent out until the day of release. And then when the game did come out, you had a over 7 GB patch that you had to download in order to play it. Bear in mind, there's only about 4 GB or so of data on the disc. So this is like, what, nearly twice as much in a patch. And day one patches are not the issue here, because occasionally, basically what will happen is, with time constraints and stuff, you'll ship a game, and to get a game printed on disc, you have to send a copy off in advance of the game. And if you're still working on the game, you may be then working out a few kinks and bugs, which you then patch on day one in order to kind of fix anything that you fix between sending the game off to be, you know, put on discs and the game going live. However, the fact that the patch was that big just suggests that they basically had to rush out a lot of work and that the game is probably unfinished, which basically it is. It is a glitch fest. Like, there ain't no party like a Pro Skater glitch fest party. You can clip through structures, you can just randomly fall off your board. It's just a complete mess, and it makes the game, in some ways, almost unplayable, to the point where the gamer is going to get so frustrated with the fact that they can't play the game, that they're not going to want to play the game. And for me, this is a shame, because I do have a lot of positive nostalgia for Pro Skater. I remember, you know, hanging out in the hangar level, no pun intended. I remember playing horse against my brothers. I remember on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, the zoo level, it was like my favorite, and trying to kind of unlock all the different areas of the zoo and stuff, finding cheats so that your manuals and your grinds didn't need to be balanced. It was really a kind of classic game for me. And to me, what it feels like is that Robomodo and Activision are like, oh, we're going to push out this game and get people to buy it based on nostalgia alone to the Pro Skater franchise and the Pro Skater series. On top of that, Activision are actually losing the rights to Pro Skater at the end of this year. So for me, what it kind of feels like they've done is they've been like, right, we can't release this, you know, when Ubisoft's like Assassin's Creed is coming out, Bethesda's got Fallout 4, all the big kind of winter games. We'll release it a little bit beforehand, and we'll just rush it through before we are no longer allowed to publish these games, because we don't have an agreement allowing us to do that further on. And then we'll just use people's nostalgia of the old games to convince them to buy it. We won't send out review codes early, and this just feels super sneaky to me, and it feels like Activision are just kind of like fucking over their audience. They've taken a shit and like put kind of your favorite things from your childhood around it to somehow disguise the fact that it is a shit, and people aren't that stupid. And if anything, they've actually made a bigger backlash for themselves by doing things this way than if they'd just been honest, as they tried to force the game out. And you know, maybe they'll manage to patch out the bugs down the line and create something that's kind of vaguely fun. It's not really a graphical masterpiece, it's not anything new, they're just kind of playing on nostalgia. But I think at this point they'll have alienated the audience enough that, in terms of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, people aren't going to buy this game. I mean, I'm definitely not going to buy this game. And I think if any future Tony Hawk Pro Skater games do come out, they're going to have to do a better job, and really cannot be developed by Robomodo at this point. It's just a disaster. On top of that, like, I think they could maybe look into doing more HD remakes. They did do a HD remake back in, I think, 2012, taking elements from Pro Skater 1 and Pro Skater 2, but if they did a straight remake of maybe a 3-4 kind of thing, with next-gen graphics and really bringing things back, I think that is something that people are liable to buy. It's been shown that people are excited for and do buy anniversary editions and HD remakes. Heck, I do it too. But either you have to give the game to a company who's going to spend enough time developing it and give the game enough love that it needs. Alternatively, just don't bother. Just don't bother, but don't force something through just because you have the rights and you're trying to get a bit of money out of it whilst you can. I mean, at this rate, I feel like you're not even going to get money out of it. I feel like development costs may outshine the cost of people actually buying the game. And a fairly pricey retail value, you know, I'm just going to steer clear. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, whether you have the amount of nostalgia I do for Tony Hawk, with all the kind of punk music and everything that kind of surrounded it back on the PlayStation, or whether it's not really your kind of thing, and you prefer non-skateboarding based games. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, guys. And as always, you can find us at Facebook, on facebook.com/thekillabits, and on Twitter @thekillabits. And if you want to support us monetarily, that would be super awesome. Yay! You can do that at patreon.com/thekillabits. I've been Francesca, my hair has changed color, and I'm mad about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. I'll catch you guys next time with another video. Have a great day.